Hey, what's up guys, Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Sorry I haven't posted in a little bit, I just had some stuff to do yesterday, so dual videos today, yay. So, today is going to be Orcust Mekk-Knight. Now this deck is really cool, so this is more of an Orcust Mekk-Knight, Phantom Knight deck, because the thing is that, these merge really well. So the big reason that, I did this was because I was trying to run Orcust Phantom Knight, and I was like, hey, can you merge Scrap with it? But then I realized that there are way too many normal summons in the deck, and the deck isn't consistent enough. So then I talked to some people, and they were like, oh, Mekk-Knight is a great engine to run in Orcust. So then I thought about it, and I'm like, none of the Mekk-Knights actually normal summon. So is that to say that there wouldn't be any normal summon bricks? So then I realized that Phantom Knight is the perfect engine to run on top of the Mekk-Knight engine. So this deck is actually really good. It's super consistent. It has so many one-card combos that, like, it's just insane. Like, it has Gear Suit combos, it has Torn Scales combos, it has a lot of combos. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Starting things off, I play 3 copies of Gear Suit of the Orcust Mekk-Knight. This card's really good. It's basically a one-card starter for the deck, and is just a really good card. So its effect is that when it's normal summoned, you can ditch a World Legacy or Orcust card or monster from your deck. That's really good, just because it's just easy to get your combo started just by sending a single card to the graveyard. Now, I'd like to stress this: this card isn't, or this deck isn't isn't the best deck in this format, because until Virtual World, Drytron, and Eldritch get hit, this deck is not going to be the top tier deck that I know it can be. Because the problem is everybody's gearing up to take care of back row / take care of graveyard decks. So the problem is they're gonna be set to combat this deck, despite the fact that this deck isn't the best deck of the format. So you need to keep that in mind as you're doing your combo plays, because this deck will be fragile until Virtual World, Drytron, and Eldritch get hit. So yeah, 3 copies of Orcust Mekk-Knight. Again, really good. 3 copies of Mekk-Knight Blue Sky. This card is god tier. Like, it is a search and a free special summon. So all the Mekk-Knights have an effect where if you control 2 cards in the same column, you can special summon it. So that's why Gear Suit is so good, because it can actually get cards on your opponent's side of the field, and then by process it's able to create more columns. So this card's really good. It's just a Rhoda for the deck, and his absolutely psycho, haha. But like, this card's just really good. It's a great starter card. Not really a starter, more literally the entire Mekk-Knight engine is just extenders. Like, the Mekk-Knight engine isn't actually accomplishing anything other than putting bodies on the field that you could use for link plays, that you can use as extenders, that you can use for a lot of things. But you have to really be careful when you're doing your Mekk-Knight plays, because a lot of the Orcust cards lock you into light monsters, or lock you into dark monsters, so you have to do your Mekk-Knight combos first. So yeah, I play 3 copies of Purple Nightfall. This card is basically another searcher. It can quick effect banish a Mekk-Knight until the standby phase of your next turn, and then you get to add a Mekk-Knight from your deck to your hand, which is actually really good because it frees up another space. I played 2 copies of Indigo Eclipse. This card is literally just to switch columns. It's pretty good. I played 1 copy of Green Horizon, 1 copy of Red Moon, and 1 copy of Yellow Star. I was actually thinking about cutting out Green Horizon and maybe one of these 2, because they just aren't as good as the other Mekk-Knights, but they are great extender cards, and it doesn't really matter. I played 3 copies of Orcust Nightmare. This card is a great card. It's a great way to just continue your plays, because it can banish to ditch another Orcust, which is really good. And you have combo plays that can get them back. You can easily just pop off, even just by sending this card, and it's really good. I play 2 copies of Symbol Skeleton. This card is a special summon from the graveyard and is just really, really good for your combo plays. On top of the fact that you have plays with Din Girsu, which, yeah, it's really, really good. And then I play 1 copy of Brass Bombard. So this actually does come up a lot. Like, if you draw into your Girsu, you got a lot of combo plays with Brass Bombard that you can do. And it's just a great extender. Like, it's a good one-of, but I wouldn't play it anymore. For the Phantom Knight's engine, 3 copies of Torn Scales. This card is just great. It's like literally a it's not a 1-card combo, sorry, but it's just really, really good. It's very, very close to being a 1-card combo, because what you do is you normal summon this, you discard a card, then you can ditch Ancient Cloak from your deck, banish Ancient Cloak, search Silent Boots, special summon because you have Torn Scales, then you can link them both off into Cherubini, and then you have full combo. It's crazy. But this deck is just like absolutely insane with the amount of combo plays it can do in the 1-card combos. So yeah, 3 Torn Scales, 1 Silent Booties. This one searches your spells, this one searches your monsters, which is really good. I played 2 copies of World Legacy World 1. Probably should have put this with the Orcust monsters, because it's basically an honorary Orcust. This card can banish from the grave to target a banished Orcust and special summon it. That's really, really good. So yeah, 2 copies of it, mandatory. I played 1 copy of Danger Sukino, 1 copy of Danger Nessie, and 1 copy of Danger Jackalope. Mainly I play these because, 1, these 2 are the dark, are dark level 3, and then this one is just a great target to continue your plays, because like if you draw into any of them, you basically get, like, Sukino is the only one that isn't like as good. Like, it's okay, but it's the only one that just gives you instant advantage, because if it gets discarded, you still get to draw 1 card. So there's that, but if any of the other ones get discarded, you just have ways of floating into the others, which is really good. I play 1 copy of Foolish Burial. This card's just great in this deck. 1 copy of Rhoda, because it can search your Phantom Knight's engine. 1 copy of Orchestrated Babel, because you can easily set this card up. I was playing this of 3 copies for some reason, and that was just so off. I played 2 copies of Orchestrated Return. This card is pot of greed for the deck. Sending an Orcust from your hand to the graveyard is so good in this deck. 1 copy of Phantom Knights of Rank Up Magic Launch. This card is a great way of getting into True King of All Calamities really easily. Literally, if your combos don't pan out and you just flop hard, you can just go back and go into True King of All Calamities and your turn there. Like, Virtual World does it, and they're considered a tier 0 deck. Like, not tier 0, tier 1 deck. But, like, this deck can do it too. Really, really easily. If this deck makes a Link 2, you could pretty easily go into True King of All Calamities. I played 2 copies of Fogblade and 1 copy of Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine is like broken in this deck because you don't have any of your you don't have any other traps in the deck other than Fogblade, which Fogblade is a continuous. So until your opponent outs Fogblade, Shade Brigandine is live and it's sick. And then I play the Dragoon engine. This is just amazing just because it's Dragoon is just so free in this deck. Like, there's no way around it. So that is it for the main deck. The main deck is very, very solid. Going into the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Lib, the World Key Blade Master. So this card's pretty good. It's actually part of your combos. You don't need to play it. There are combos without needing it, but it's still a pretty good card. I play 1 copy of Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avermax. This card's just good. You can go into it at the end of your combo plays. It's just still one of the best Link monsters. On top of the fact that I didn't want to play Access Code. Like, I just don't know why. I don't want to play Access Code. I'm tired of playing Access Code. I play 1 copy of Cherubini. This card's amazing in this deck. Like, this card is god tier. 1 copy of Rusty Bardiche. So, You can, usually, like, you're not going to gain advantage off of sending, any of your Phantom Knights cards with this card, because it's just not as good, or, because you're usually going to have gone through some combo plays to get to this card, so your Phantom Knight cards are usually going to be gone, the ones that gain you advantage, but sometimes, you'll be able to go into Rusty pretty easily, and then just ditch a Silent Booties or an Ancient Cloak, and then have another extender. I play 1 copy of Verte Anaconda for the Dragoon plays, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn and IP Masquerena. These cards are awesome. 2 copies of Galatea. If you can go into Galatea, you can go into Din Girsu. If you can go into Din Girsu, you can go into True King of All Calamities. I played 1 copy of Link Spider. This card's actually just for getting Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine off the field, because if you can get it off the field, then you actually have better plays, because all of them need effect monsters as their material. Like, literally, there's no way of getting around that. You need to play, you need to play Link Spider, or you need to play the Iblum, or whatever it's called, the other one, the dragon. I played 1 copy of Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star. This card's really good, but I just... you don't really need to play any of the Mekk-Knight extra deck cards. I kind of just wanted to tick it in here. I played 2 copies of Din Girsu. This card's God tier. 1 copy of True King of All Calamities, because this deck can go into it super easily. And then I played 1 copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So, I will actually go over the side deck, because the side deck is actually pretty important for this deck. You cannot play Artifact Lancia. Artifact Lancia does not work in this deck. Mainly just because you actually want to banish a lot. Like, this deck is based around banishing. So if you play Artifact Lancia, you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting your opponent. So the side deck is 3 evenly matched. This card's just amazing. 3 Mask Reverse Strict. Then I play 3 copies of Mask Reverse Strict. This card's just really good to stop Drytron, because literally they can do anything under Mask of Restrict. 3 copies of Nibiru for your Virtual World / Drytron matchup. 3 copies of Skullmeister. I really couldn't main deck any hand traps. Like, I would have, but the deck was really tight. You could cut out the dangers to put this in, but the dangers are such great cards, like, I wouldn't want to. And then I play 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone for the Eldritch matchup, because you really don't play anything to counter Eldritch other than this, and it's kind of required. So, yeah, that is pretty much it for the deck. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's anything you would change about the deck. Would you change up the Mekk-Knight lineup? Would you cut out the Mekk-Knights? Would you change up anything about the extra deck? Yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.